Tah pravishyamavacham nam prasuptam sanjeevayattekala-shakti-dharasvatamna anyamishchahastacharana-shravanatvagadin pranam namo bhagavate purushaaya tubhyam yam gurum hismam tatyaha prajñā-bhakti-vinītayaha dīptiścā-gata nityam tam gurum pranamamyaham sadāśiva-samārambhāṃ Shankara-acārya-madhyamāṃ अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. 91. आद्या विद्या हृद्गता निर्गतासीत् विद्या हृद्या हृद्गता त्वत्प्रसादात् सेवे नित्यं श्रीकरं त्वत्पदाब्जं भावे मुक्तेर्भाजनं राजमौले दूरीकृतानि दुरितानि दुरक्षराणि दौर्भाग्यदुःखदुरहं कृति दुर्वचांसि सारं त्वदीयचरितं नितरां पिबन्तं गौरीशमामिह समुद्धरसत्कटाक्षैः सोमकलाधरमौळौ कोमलघनकन्धरे महामहसि स्वामिनि गिरिजानाथे मामकहृदयं निरन्तरं रमताम् सारसनाते नयने तावेव करौ स एव कृतकृत्यः यायेयौ योगर्गं वदति क्षेते सदार्चतः स्मरति अतिमृदुलौ मम चरणौ अतिकठिनं ते मनो भवानीशा इति विजिगित्सां सन्त्यज शिव कथमासीद् गिरौ तथा वेशः. 95. अतिमृदुलौ मम चरणौ अतिकठिनन्ते मनो भवानीशा इति विचिकित्सां सन्त्यज शिव कथमासीद् गिरौ तथा वेशः. This is like talking to a friend. Suppose the friend tries to find an excuse, then you take the liberty to tell him, oh, you can't choose this escape route. Okay. So here he is saying, see, kathamasid girau tatha vesha. If you say that I can't come and stay in your place here refers to Hridaya. So because there are a lot of thorns here, it's very difficult. It is a very hard surface to live there. But then he says, no, this excuse will not work with me. I know where you are staying in the mood. Very good. Now we will move on to the next one. धैर्यांकुशेन निभृतं धैर्यांकुशेन निभृतं धैर्यांकुशेन निभृतं रभसादाकृष्य भक्तिशृङ्खलया रभसादाकृष्य भक्तिशृङ्खलया रभसादाकृष्य भक्तिशृङ्खलया पुरहर चरणालानि पुरहर चरणालानि पुरहर चरणालानि हृदयमदेभं बधान चिद्यन्त्रैः हृदयमदेभं बधान चिद्यन्त्रैः हृदयमदेभं बधान चिद्यन्त्रैः. So this verse is also in Giti meter. See, as I was saying, the last three verses are also 93, 94, 95 and 96. So these four have been composed in Giti meter. But Giti is used by some of these mathematicians to express certain things. One of the convenient meters. So where you don't need to that much bother about the sequence of Guru Laghu. Sequence of Guru Laghu you will not be bothered about. But the total number of beats, matras, have to be fixed. So here he has ensured that this Giti meter is also filled with lot of prasa. See, Sarasana, Saha, Tenayani. Beautiful prasa is there. Yaye Yauyo Bhargam. So here you see, in this verse he says, Bhakti Shrinkhalaya Rabhasat Akrishya Purahara is the addressing word. He Purahara Charanalane Badhana. Badhana means may you tie. May you tie. Tie what? Ibham Badhana. Where do you find the word Ibham? The fourth pada, you see. Hridayamadebham. So Madaibham. Madaibham means this is somewhat uncontrollable elephant. Which is uncontrollable elephant? Hridayamadebham Rupaka. My mind is just like an uncontrollable elephant. So you may remember long back he was comparing the mind to various things. One of them was monkey. And so on, there are various other things with which he was comparing. Now he is presenting the mind as Madebham. See, Ibha itself is generally difficult to control. But particularly when the Ibha happens to be intoxicated, Madebham. So it becomes all the more difficult to exercise control. But he is saying there is a mechanism by which we can control that. That mechanism is very nicely described in the first half of the verse. Badhana chidyantraihi. Chidyantraihi badhana. This is something which has to be very carefully understood. The only way by which you can really control mind is to make the mind understand what is hita and what is ahita. Once that is very clearly understood, so then even when you want to stop someone, you can't make that happen. When you want to engage someone into something, that also you cannot succeed. But if the mind itself is convinced that here there is a purpose, then it automatically gets towards it. So it starts gravitating. So there can be vikshepa, but that vikshepa has to be carefully handled. So if this is something which is going to be extremely strong, see, suppose you have taken a decision that hereafter in this life I am going to study only Vedanta. So even if someone says, I am going to give 2 crore rupees per month, please come and take this job, you say, no, thank you. You understand? So this kind of a firm conviction, see, firm conviction. So once it is there, so then nothing can really stop it. See? So here, chidyantra means, so the yantra, the tool, see, the machine that can act as a controlling agent is only this jnana. This jnana as to what is to be pursued by me, at what stage, at what level, to what extent. So these are things which have to be very, very clear in one's own mind. So here he says, Hridayamadebham Badhana Chidyantraihi Badhana. So beautiful Rupaka here throughout. And of course, there is also what we may call as Hetalankara. Anyway, so Purahara, even this word is a beautiful addressing word, and he has made an appropriate choice here. This Purahara has been employed particularly to remind Parameshwara that once again you can't find the excuse saying that I will not be able to control this kind of uncontrollable elephant. You are a Purahara. You have conquered 3 Puras. Every Pura will have so many Mattagajas. You can't tell me that this Mattagaja cannot be brought under control. So you better catch this fellow. Okay? Chidyantraihi Badhana. He says, Chidyantraihi Badhana. Bless me with the right knowledge. Bless me with the right knowledge. Then this will come under control naturally. Purahara Charanalani Hridayamadebham Badhana Chidyantraihi. Badhana, where? So this is a very beautiful word. Many of you might not have come across. So only in Kavyas so we find some of these nice usages. This alana is a word. So alanam, you know alanam? You know? So alanam is used to refer to Gajabandhana Stambha. Okay. So Gajabandhana Stambha is what is called alana. Okay. So there is a nice verse in Raghuvamsha. It will tell you that verse. It is occurring in a beautiful context where he uses the word alam. I tell you, it is good to know the context. It is good to know the content. When you come across this word alam, he says this is right in the beginning, first sarga itself. Asahya Vedanam, Asahya Peedam Bhagavan, Asahya Peedam Bhagavan, Asahya Peedam Bhagavan, Rinamantyam Avehime, Rinamantyam Avehime, Rinamantyam Avehime, Rinamantyam Avehime, Aruntudamivalanam, Aruntudamivalanam, Alanam means Aruntudamivalanam, Anirvanasya Dantinaha, Anirvanasya Dantinaha, Anirvanasya Dantinaha, Asahya Peedam Bhagavan, Rinamantyam Avehime, Aruntudamivalanam, Nirvanasya Dantinaha. Dantinaha means Danti, Kali. These are words used to refer to Gaja. So Dantinaha Aruntudamiva Alanam, he says. So this is presented to us by Kalidasa as the words of Dilipa to Vasishtha. So Dilipa goes and meets Vasishtha and he asks, so are you fine, etc., etc. Then, having replied to him that when you are there to protect us, so why am I not going to be fine, etc., etc. So all that dialogue happens. And then finally, So this Dilipa also tells that there is only one thing which is sort of paining me. What is the one thing which pains you? So there is a debt that pains you. This is debt. Rinam. Antyam Rinam is said. Antyam Rinam. There are so many Rinas which people have, and all those Rinas have been taken care. There is one Rina which I have not been able to take care, and this is something which is not in my hand. I need the divine blessings. So this is the Putra Bhagya. That's what he is trying to tell. Asahya Peedam Bhagavan. So this is something which is severely troubling me. Asahya Peedam He Bhagavan. Asahya Peedam Bhagavan Rinam Antyam Avehi Me. Antyam Rinam Avehi Me. This is the only thing that is a bit of paining me. Okay. How does it pain? There, Kalidasa brings in this beautiful simile which involves the word alana. So elephants, none of us want to be tied up anywhere. So we want to be free. Yathecha sancharitvam everyone wants. Yathecha sancharam. So it is starting from ant to our mouse. Okay. So if you trap them, they will keep making further noise. Okay. So nobody wants to be free. So here, tied up, bandham. Okay. So this elephant particularly, they would resist. And there is a mechanism by which they try to tie the elephant. So they tame it first. Now he says this alana is a stambha which is so strong to tie the elephant. It is called Gajabandhana stambha. Okay. So in those days, you can't be having a series of trees. They will have hundreds of elephants. They used to have elephant force. There used to be huge number of elephants. And for them to be tied, this post is called ala. Now he is saying, as the elephant will be pained when it is tied to the alana, okay, and particularly anirvanasya here means they would like to go to water bodies and then throw water upon themselves. They will really enjoy that. But if you have seriously restricted it from the access to water, the kind of pain that they may have is the kind of pain that I am having. Okay? So that is what he is trying to say. Antyam Rinam Aruntudam. See, Aruntudam means this Aruntuda. Tuda means Gathane. So Aruntudam means severely pain. Arumshi. Okay. So Arumshi means like marma. Huh? Correct. Okay. Marma Vedana, they say as Aruntuda. Correct. So that is from Amarakosha. So this Aruntudam, so it is like, so suppose you touch certain parts of the body. Mild touch will be like a huge electric shock. It's called Marma Vedana. You just pinch those points. So similarly is the pain that I am experiencing. Aruntudam ivalanam anirvanasya dantinaha. Now, the charanalanam. Charanalanam is so the post to be used for tying the legs of the elephant. Now he says, Purahara Charanalani Hridayamadebham Badhana. Okay? Chidyantraihi Badhana. Before that, he says, so what is the mechanism to be adopted for this to happen? Dhairyam kushena nibhritam rabhasada krishya bhakti shrinkhalaya. Ankusha? What? So it is the tool that is used to control the elephant. The different tools are employed for taming different animals. So for goat, some small stick, that which looks like stick itself is sufficient. Sometimes if you want to control the bullocks, then mere stick may not be sufficient. They will have small nail kind of a thing at the end. They are big bullocks, so they will try to pierce it. Sometimes they may use whip. For elephant, so this there will be sharp tip, okay? So iron, quite sharp. So they will tuck because the skin itself is so thick. So it has to go and prick inside. So they will use, that is what is called ankusha. Okay? So now he says, this ankusha is used to control the elephant. So what is to be used to control the mind? Dhairya. Dhairya is to be used. This dhairya, so this dhairyam stems from dhira. Shenya pratyaya will be there. See, dhirasya bhavaha dhairyam. Okay, bhavarthe shenya pratyaya. Okay, so this dhira is, again, if you go to college, vikara hetau sati vikriyante,
vikara hetau sati vikriyante, vikara hetau sati vikriyante,
yesham na chetamsi tayeva dhiraha. Yesham na chetamsi tayeva dhiraha. Yesham na chetamsi tayeva dhiraha. Tayeva dhiraha bhavanti. Ke dhiraha bhavanti. Vikara hetau sati na vikriyante yesham chetamsi. Vikara hetau sati. So the other day, one of my students was saying that today India-Pakistan match. India-Pakistan match, so what? So that is a Vikara Hetu. So Vikara Hetu, if you have committed yourself to study now, okay, so you do this, I said, that can wait. So there are various things which may happen. So this meeting, that meeting in hospital. So there are various things which are Vikara Hetu. But see, so once we have fixed some goal, that Vikriya cannot be allowed. Vikara hetau sati. Vikara hetau sati. So normally you may be okay. Somebody comes, let us go. So even if 10 fellows come, okay, we should not. Yesham na chetamsi. So the decisions taken by you, it should be of course in the right direction. If it is a murkha some decision, I have taken the decision to see the match, so therefore I can't see them. That is a big problem. So vikara hetau sati vikriyante yesham na chetamsi tayeva dhiraha. Okay, so those who are able to stick to, in fact, even this Sahitya Granthas, they describe this dhira. I know in a similar way, I'll tell you. See, just repeat that. Vyavasayadachalanam.
Vyavasayadachalanam. Vyavasayadachalanam.
Dhairyam vighne mahatyapi.
Dhairyam vighne mahatyapi. Dhairyam vighne mahatyapi.
This is how Sahitya Darpana presents Dhairyam. Vighne mahatyapi. Even if there were a huge hurdle. Vyavasayat achalanam. You should not just be shaken. So your efforts. Vyavasayat achalanam. You have chosen some path. It may have so many hurdles. But then you just face all of them and then move forward. See, that is what is called dhairyam. Vyavasayat achalanam. Dhairyam vighne mahatyapi. Now, come back here. So here, dhairyam kushena. Suppose you have taken certain decision that every day I will chant this sutra. So every day I will memorize 1 or 2 verses. Every day I will study for this time. So these are all certain commitment and some vyavasaya towards achieving it. Vyavasayat achalanam. This bhakti is also like that. Ishvara Chintan, Aradhana, Stotra Patana. Achalanam dhairyi. This dhairyam, achalanam is dhairya. Not getting shaken. From the purpose and from putting necessary efforts. So this achalanam is dhairya. And this is to be used as the ankusha to control this fellow mind. Understand? Dhairyam kushena. Then he says, Nibhritam rabhasada krishya. This nibhritam is also a very nice word. Nibhritam. So that has various meanings in various contexts. So nibhritam is, here we have to understand this nibhritam as vinitam. Okay. Nibhritam means it can be dhritam, which is held, supported. Okay. So here this has to be understood as something which has been humbled, something which has been controlled. Okay. So here he is saying, as the spear, whatever we call, gourd or spear, he is used to bring the elephant under control. So too, vaidhairya, achalana buddhi. So this buddhi, so this hridaya, your manaha has to be brought under control. Dhairyam kushena nibhritam. He says further, Rabhasada krishya bhaktiyo bhakti shrinkhalaya. Every word is so beautiful. He says, Rabhasada krishya. So, akrishya means having pulled. Okay. Now, what is to be pulled? So, the moment you try to use this tool to bring elephant to control, quickly you have to do this. See? So, otherwise, the pain that is there in elephant will be for a short while. So, it is scared. So, it will let its leg to be tied. And this rabhasat means, see, quickly you have to do this. Okay, we can't be delaying. Rabhasada krishya. See, pull that. Okay. How do you pull that and how do you tie? He says, Bhakti shrinkhalaya. Bhakti eva shrinkhala. Bhakti shrinkhala. So Bhakti shrinkhala. Shrinkhala is the chain, The chain that is used to tie is called Shrinkhala. Okay? So this Bhakti eva Shrinkhala, Bhakti Shrinkhala. So this Bhakti Shrinkhala is, it can be purely in the form of singing songs, chanting slokras, or even if you take it from the Vedantic point, Swaswarupānusandhānam bhaktiritya vidhīyate. That is how he defines it. Swaswarupānusandhānam bhaktiritya vidhīyate. This is there in Vivekchudamani. So, from the viewpoint of Vedanta, Swaswarupasya Anusandhanam. So, I remember my grandfather, at some point, he completely got resorted to. Initial stages, he was completely dedicated to teaching Veda. Come what may, so that is my purpose. So, he was doing that. He will go and beg some money and then teach teaching Veda. Really, I mean, some Bhiksha Patra, you have to go from village to village. But still, he will carry some students with him. This is one kind of a bhakti towards Veda initially. Then that bhakti got transformed into Vedanta. Okay, initially promoting Veda, then promoting Vedanta. So almost 8 to 10 hours he will keep doing this Parayana of Shankara Bhashya. Upanishad after Upanishad, or some Samhita, other Samhita. Minimum 8 to 10 hours per day. Okay? So towards the end of his life. At some stage, so there was a problem in eye. So then my father recorded things, and then he was still listening to them towards the end. So that is the kind of bhakti. Okay. For doing the Swaswarupānusandhanam, whatever is going to help you. Mind is not something which is easily controlled. But at least if you engage in something, then it is bringing to that particular destination. Okay. So that whatever will help you. That is what he was doing. See, Bhakti Shrinkhala. Why am I saying this? Swaswarupānusandhanam Bhakti. This Swaswarupānusandhanam, if you keep reading Adhyasa Bhashya, you read 100 times, you will get some new idea. So this Upanishads, Upanishad Parayanam and Bhashyanusandhanam, so it's essentially to help this Madhebha, to bring this Madhebha under control. So these things have to be adopted. And it can be done only through Dhairyankusha, that firm conviction and achalatva, this has to be there. ये भी चलता है, वो भी चलता है. In fact, I remember one person. This person, every day, exactly at 5, he will be there. So whether it is flooded in Chennai, somehow he will come for the class. Okay. My father used to say, if he has come, you can set the clock. So that is what is that commitment. So that is why he is saying, Dhairyam Kushena Nibhritam. So that which is firmly, okay, controlled. So there are various connotations to the word Nibhritam, as I told. And this Nibhritam, so there is a beautiful verse again, this Kalidasa, I tell you, this Nibhritam he uses. See, one meaning, as I told you, is Dharanam. See, the other meaning is Dhritam. Okay? So the other meaning, as I said, is Vinitatvam. So bringing it under control and so on. This Nibhritam is something which is held. See, held is also meant by Nibhritam. So in that sense, see, Kalidasa uses this. It's a beautiful verse. Note down. Prashamasthitapurvaparthivam
Prashamasthitapurvaparthivam Prashamasthitapurvaparthivam
Kulamabhyudyata 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 Nutaneshwaram 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 Nabhasa Nibhritenduna Tulam Nabhasa Nibhrita Induna Nabhasa Nibhritenduna Tulam Nabhasa Nibhritenduna Tulam Nabhasa Nibhritenduna Tulam Uditarkena Uditarkena Samarurohatat Samarurohatat. This is the description of an instant when the king Raghu decides that he is going to relinquish the position that he was holding and he is going to take Vanaprastha. So you just step down and then go to Vanaprastha. So what is to be done? So you have to just hand over to the son. Who is the son? Raghu's son is Aja. Okay. So he is handing over it to Aja. And then he is going to Vanaprastha. Okay. So Aja, then we have Dasharatha, then Rama. This is how it goes. Here, Kalidasa describes that instant with a very, very beautiful scene, where the word Nibhrita comes. Nibhrita means here Dhrita. Okay. So the context in which Dhrita means something which is held. So Nibhrita used here is in a different sense, that which has been Vidhrita, well controlled, brought under that. So here you see Nabhasa Nibhritenduna Tulam. That's where the word Nibhrita comes. What is stated in the first line? Prashamasthita Purva Parthivam. Purva Parthiva here refers to Raghu. Okay. Prashamasthita means so he has put all the indriyas under control. Okay. He was enjoying all that power, okay, comforts. Now he is going to just leave all of them completely, and therefore poet describes him as Prashamasthita Prakarshena Shamam Apanna. Prashamasthita Purva Parthivam. Raghu is that state. What is happening on the other side? The Purva Parthivam Kulam. Everything goes as a qualifier to Kulam. This Kula is having the previous king who has taken the Vanaprasthashrama. Prashamasthita Purva Parthivam Kulam Abhyudyata Nutaneshwaram. So this Nutaneshwara is someone who is rising up now. Okay. So Nutaneshwara with a new king. Okay. This Kula is shining. How does it look like? Here is Kalidasa. He says, so you look at the sky, the moon is setting, the sun is rising on the other side, and the sky which holds both of them, the Kura is holding both of them. Understand? The sky is presenting to us some Udaya Surya and this the other side, so setting moon. So this is like that. The Kula is having the Aja rising and the Raghu completely going to be unknown to people. not accessible. So that kind of a state to the moon. All this time he was shining, and now he is in the asta. That is why he is saying, see, nabhasa nibhritenduna. This nabhasa, sky. Nibhritenduna tulam. See, this is similar to that. Uditarkena samaruroha tat. Tat means tat kulam. Samaruroha, reaches the state. Okay? So that's why we have the word nibhrita beautifully used. Okay. Now, dhairyam kushena nibhritam nabhasada krishya bhakti shrinkhalaya purahara charanalane hridayamadebham badhana chidyantri. The beauty here is, so he is just saying, maybe I have put enough efforts, I have made this determination, but still it is not completely under my control. Okay? So therefore he is praying to Ishvara, may you kindly tie this immediately. That is why it is prarthana. Hridayamadebham badhana chidyantraihi. Chidyantraihi badhana. By providing me with the right knowledge. Okay. Chidyantraihi badhana, may you tie. Means the understanding here is, though I have put enough efforts, I keep trying, still your grace is essential for tying this elephant foot. A beautiful verse. Read. Dhairyam kushena nivritam rabhasada krishya bhakti shrinkhalaya purahara charanalane hridayamadebham badhana chidyantrai. Then next. Pracharatyabhitaha 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 Pragalbhavritya
Pragalbhavritya
Pragalbhavritya Madavanesha manahkari gariyanu Madavanesha manahkari gariyanu Madavanesha manahkari gariyanu Parigrihya nayena bhaktirajva Parigrihya nayena bhaktirajva Parigrihya nayena bhaktirajva Paramasthānupadam dridham nayamam Paramasthānupadam dridham nayamam Paramasthānupadam dridham nayamam. In this edition of the text that I have, Sthanu and Padam has been separated. I think it should not be done. Sthanu Padam. Sthanu Padam should be one Samastha Padam. So Sthanu Padam. Sthanu, it means Parameshvara. It also means Sthira. So Shashvatam Padam, Sthiram Padam. So he says, once again, the same concept has been brought in. The mind is once again described as Kari. Here. Kari. Madavanesha manahkari. Yeshaha manahkari madavan. There are two adjectives which are used. One is madavan, the other is gariyan. Understand? Madavan gariyan. Manahkari. So, on the one hand, he says Madavan. This Madhavani is used in order to make us understand that this is somewhat uncontrollable. Okay? So this is somewhat uncontrollable. So this is essentially like this. We say this, no? At the beginning of even this Kenopanishad, we have this Prashna. Keneshitam patati preshitam mana. Keneshitam patati. So who is making it go in this direction? Okay. So you try to make some resolve. Then you write. So this week somehow it did not work for me. The students sometimes they write. I said the weekly report you have to send. So this week it didn't somehow work out for me. I did not study well. So that is because this manahkarihi, it is madavan, it becomes somewhat uncontrollable. Okay, madagaja. The other thing that he is saying is gariyan. Gariyan, a nice usage here. How does it come? From which word?
Yes.
Guruhu Gariyan Garishtha. Understand? Guruhu Gariyan Garishtha. This is Yasun Pratyaya. Tarabiya Sunau. Tamabishtanau is one sutra. Tarabiya Sunau is another sutra. So now Gariyan he is saying. So Gariyan, it is much heavier. So heavy, heavier. This is the intent by which this word has been employed. Okay, for conveying that he is using. Now Gariyan, of course we know that elephant is 100 times heavier than us. So there is 2 orders of magnitude higher. The weight will be. Suppose this fellow is 60, so that can be 6,000 years. Now this Gariyan, Manahkari, Gariyan, he is saying this Manahkari is heavier than the elephant. Sometimes Dukkhan thonda dekadunu. His throat is choked. So this heaviness that this fellow he experiences is something which is much heavier than the heaviest elephant. Manahkari Gariyan. So one is to indicate that it's not something which is under my control. The other is to indicate that I am undergoing various kinds of pains, which is just pushing me down. Okay. So Manahkari Gariyan. So what does it do? This Mada. See, Madavan, therefore he is saying Pracharatya Abhitaha Pracharati. So it keeps moving all around. There are some bright students also who I had. Okay. But these bright students, they could focus and do much more. But then there will be too many distractions. So suddenly he will look at shares. Suddenly he will look at some other market. Suddenly he will look at something else. See, this is a problem. See, Pracharatya Bhitaha. Abhitaha Pracharatya. There is another student I had. I'll just tell you. That fellow I told, see, so you have to be present in the department from 9 to 6 in the evening. Long back. 12, 15 years back. That fellow will come and sit. So evening I asked him, what did you study? He will just say half a page. Okay, half a page. He said, what are you doing? No, I was here, that is also true. But he says, the moment I start seeing this, the mind gets blocked. It is a genuine problem. Genuine. Sometimes I may have to say, the discussion will be going on, suddenly his mind will be elsewhere, he will just leave. Then I have to just tell him, so, oh man, come here. So that is what he is trying to say. Pracharatya bhitaha. And see, I had to send this fellow, okay, to some other place. Finally made him. At least Sannivesha change can sometimes help. See, once you take some student, it is our problem. Okay. So pracharatya bhitaha, he says, pragalbhavritya. Another word. Pragalbhavritya. So this pragalbha, pragalbhyam is another nice verse. Pragalbhyena vina saundarya yuktapi. Pragalbhyena vina saundarya yuktapi kim tadvat gola vivarjito ganitavitu prashnottare kim vibhu. He is giving 2-3 examples. So you have beautifully made decoration, but there is nothing to see because there is no prakasha in the night. You might have done a lot of decoration, okay, with various lights. You would have made various shows, but then suddenly electricity fails. How can you see? Ratrau sadma vichitra chitra rachanam deepam vina kimyatha Trailokyam sakalartha purnam pikim bhasvat prakasham vina Vaidadhyena vina pragalbha taruni saundarya yukta apikim tadvat gola vivarjito ganitavit prashnottare kim vibhu. Anyway, see, he is saying Vaidadhyena vina pragalbha taruni. This pragalbhyam is something presenting very well. So it has various connotations. Here pragalbha vritya means some uncontrolled vritti. So it is irresistible. Okay. So audacious, you can just see. Okay. So pragalbha vritti means, so this audacity is the vritti. So pracharatya bhitah pragalbha vritya madavanesha manahtari gariyan. Then he says parigrihya nayena bhaktirajvaha. See, there are these two adjectives you have to understand very well. One is trying to describe your helpless state. Pracharatya bhitaha. In spite of all efforts, pracharatya bhitaha pragalbha vritya madavan. So this is one aspect. Okay? One aspect, getting distracted with various things. The other aspect is simply sinking. See, drowning itself. Okay? That manaha, with some pida, some dukkha, something which is in the past. So it is sinking down. Okay? It is unable to do what it has to do. So that is another state. Now he is saying the solution to both. Parigrihya nayena bhaktirajva. This is something which will work and which has worked. Bhaktirajva parigrihya. So you make use of this rope. What is the rope? The rope in the form of bhakti. Bhaktirajva parigrihya. So this bhakti is something which used to be used, and this has been extremely working well. And the greatest people, who have held Advaita by writing several books. All of them have recognized the importance of Bhakti. They have stated whether it is Madhusudana Saraswati or it is Bhagavad Pada himself. Why engage in writing so many verses like this? Okay. So you can't think of a greater philosopher than Bhagavad Pada himself. But this is a tool which will be extremely useful in bringing this monkey, you can say, or this elephant, you can say. So whichever way to control. Okay. So he says parigrihya, and there too nayena. So there is no universal prescription that can be given. So this nayena means some kind of an upaya. Okay. It's an intelligent means. See, nayena can mean shastrena. See? So nayena can mean upayena. After all, shastra is only upaya. So nayaha is used for that also. So by some ingenious way, you bring it under control. Okay. Parigrihya is like this, no? This mata. So she will employ several tools to bring the child under control. So use several tools. So sometimes you give something to eat, sometimes you give something to play, sometimes you say something. So you do whatever you can. So that is what is called nayena, upayena. Okay. So this naya means shastra. Naya means a certain means by which you can achieve. Parigrihya nayena. So judicious. So judiciously in English. Parigrihya nayena bhaktirajvaha. Parama. The word parama here is an addressing word to Ishvara. Okay. So, O Lord, that is all. He Parama Sthanupadam Dridham Nayamum. See, Amum, so this fellow, okay. Amum Naya, Putra Naya, Sthanupadam Naya. Sthanupadam means Thiram Sthanam. Okay, Sthanupadam. Okay, so a path which will make me not return back. Sthanupadam Paramasthanupadam Dridham Nayamam. Dridham Naya means unfailingly. Okay. So that at no point I return back. So this can be even conceived as in the previous verse. So he used the word Chidyantrai. So from Saguna to Nirguna. So may you take me to the permanent abode. Okay. So Paramasthanupadam Dridham Nayamam. So this verse is in Malabharini. So the last 4 verses were in Arya. Arya particularly Giti. Okay. So this verse is in Malabharini. See, earlier I gave the definition. You remember? So this is an Ardha Samavritta. Vishame sasaja yada guru chet. Vishame sasaja yada guru chet.
Vishame sasaja yada guru chet.
Sabharayena tu malabhariniyam. Sabharayena tu
malabhariniyam. Sabharayena tu malabhariniyam.
We have 11 and 12 verses. Okay, read this verse. Pracharathyabhitah pragalbhavritya madamanesha
वैगरीयान् परिगृह्य नयेन भक्तिरज्वाः परमस्थानुपदं दृढं नयामम्।
ॐ सर्वेऽपि सुखिनः सन्तु।